A little over 4 months ago, Living.Fit sent me this Cerakote barbell. I did an unboxing and initial overview at that point, and between then and now, I've used this bar a bunch. The folks that I train have used this bar a ton, and I'm ready to give you guys a final verdict on whether or not this bar belongs in your gym. Welcome to the GymCrafter YouTube channel. My name's Tim. I'm the head gym nerd over at GymCrafter.com, the website that I built to help ordinary folks like you and I build home and garage gyms that we absolutely love. And today I get to do something that I haven't done a lot of lately, which is give you a final verdict on a product, which I love doing. If you like this type of video, make sure you hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, I've got a lot more coming up. Make sure and subscribe to the channel. And if you know anybody who's shopping for a barbell, make sure and share this video with them because they might actually enjoy this video. Anything that I talk about today is going to be linked below in the description, and let's get into the review. So the owner of Living.Fit contacted me about 4 months ago and asked if I would like to review some of their products. And I get a lot of requests like that, but when I found out that he was one of the original founders of Kettlebell Kings, that's one of my favorite companies. They're my favorite kettlebells. And I thought that if his new company, Living.Fit, was anything at all like his old company, this was something that I really wanted to take a look at. The other reason I wanted to take a look at him is that lower priced products often get overlooked in the home gym review community. Everybody's out there reviewing $5,000 Rogue racks and belt squats and all this fancy stuff.
But what am I gonna do, Rage? I don't have that kind of money.
And a lot of times the lower price stuff, which are the things that you and I buy the most of, get overlooked. So I'm like, well, let me take a look at these because it's a really good price on these barbells. This barbell in Cerakote is only $279, I believe, $279, $269, something like that. And then it comes in chrome for $199. And to be able to buy a quality barbell at that price point is something that I thought would be really important if it turned out to be that way. Now, when I did my initial overview, I really liked this bar. There were a few things that I wish were different, and there's still a couple things that I wish were different. But after getting feedback from all the folks that I train here in the gym, let me give you the verdict right now. If you're in the market for a budget barbell and something that's multi-purpose and not dedicated to one specific use, this is a fantastic option. This thing has held up really, really well, and it has become one of the favorite barbells for the folks that I train here in the gym, especially my female clients, and I'll point out why here in a second. Let me give you the specs. This is a 28mm diameter barbell. It has dual knurl markings, so it's got IPF and IWF knurl marks. It does not have a center knurl, and it's got mildly ribbed sleeves, and like I said, is available in two colors. You've got this all black Cerakote with the Cerakote shaft and the Cerakote sleeves, and then you've got a chrome version that's all silver. The knurl is a medium aggressive knurl, and we'll talk about the knurl for a second here. I like this knurl for an all-purpose barbell. Now, this is what this is designed to be. So if you're the type of person who's only gonna have one bar in their gym, or you're gonna have one bar that does most of the lifting in your gym,
one ring to rule them all,
then this is the type of bar that you want to go, something that's multi-purpose. And the knurl on a multi-purpose barbell shouldn't be overly aggressive and it shouldn't be overly passive. You want something that's going to have enough bite for powerlifting movements and heavy deadlifts and things like that. And you also want something that's going to be not sharp enough so that if you're doing high rep stuff, if you're doing 20 reps of something, you're not going to tear up your hands. And this is pretty much the perfect knurl for that. I would tell you that this knurl is not going to bite into your hands so much that it hurts, but there's plenty of grip for this. Same thing with a 28mm diameter on the shaft. That's a very common shaft diameter for a multi-purpose barbell. It's gonna give it a little bit of flex for things like Olympic movements and deadlifts, but it's gonna be stiff enough for squats and bench presses and things like that. So it's a good overall multi-purpose barbell. The center knurl is one thing that I'm not a fan of not having. For me, as a trainer, I use it for a couple of things. Number one, I think it's important to have something in the center if you're gonna be doing heavy squats to dig into the back and give you more grip on your back. And you'll find most powerlifting bars, that's one of the hallmarks of a powerlifting bar, is that it has a center knurl. The problem with a center knurl on a multi-purpose barbell is if you're doing high pulls or you're doing snatches or you're doing cleans, anything that's gonna bring this bar across the front of your chest, then the center knurl kind of tends to be a problem because it'll dig into you in the wrong place. So the reason this doesn't have a center knurl is because, again, it's an all-purpose barbell. What I didn't realize being a guy, and this is one of the reasons why my female clients like it, is number one, the diameter of the bar being 28mm just fits in their hand a little bit better. They tell me that it's a much more comfortable bar. The other thing that they like is I don't wear anything but t-shirts when I work out. Whereas they'll wear like tank tops or things with a low back. So the knurl, when they're squatting, if there's a sharp knurl on the bar, it actually hurts their back. I've got an American barbell bar here that I use for squatting, and a lot of my male clients use for squatting. They hate it because it really digs into and leaves marks on their back. So they really like the fact that it doesn't have any knurl here. Now what I did as a compromise is I took some black gaffer's tape and I wrapped it around the center, because the other reason I like a center knurl is it helps me teach people how to line up a bar properly, especially on a bench press, but even on a deadlift or a squat or any number of lifts, to have a visual cue. For example, if you're bench pressing, I like teaching people to have this center knurl or this gaffer's tape right at eye level so that they can see that it's centered and it's in the right position up and down, and then it's in the right position left and right. If you don't have a center knurl, sometimes that's challenging. So those are the reasons that I like a center knurl. Now, not everybody wants to have tape on their bar, right? And I get that. I look at these as tools, and I just use this as a mark. I use black tape so that it looks nice. And I would tell you that one of the cool things for me doing home gym review stuff for a living, as well as being a trainer, is I allow the folks that I train to select whatever equipment they want to use in the gym. They get to select the plates that they want to work with. They get to select the barbell that they want to work with. And it's fun for me to watch them try different things and then gravitate towards just one thing. And I can tell you that of all of the bars in my gym, this is probably one of the top 3 most popular bars in the gym.
Ooh, it's that bar I like.
My female clients always reach for this bar. 100% of the time, no matter what we're doing, this is the barbell they like to use. A lot of my male clients, they'll use this for anything high rep. If I've got them doing high rep curls, if I've got them doing anything dynamic and explosive, because the more aggressive barbells will kind of chew up your hands a little bit. So this bar gets a ton of use. That said, its durability has really proven to be good. Now, I took my Barbell Rescue out before I shot this video and cleaned this up real quick. If you're not familiar with Barbell Rescue, it's probably the best barbell brush out there. I definitely recommend every gym have one. I'll put a link in the description below so you can get one for yourself. But you'll see in the pictures that the knurl on this is pretty much spotless. There's no nicks, there's no dings. I will tell you that there is a couple of dings in the side over here. And the reason for that is we're also testing some budget racks, and these racks don't always have the nicest J-cups. There's some metal that hits the barbell, which I'm not a fan of, but if you can keep this thing from hitting metal, the Cerakote is actually very, very durable. The Cerakote is also really well applied, and it hasn't started to come off in any of the areas that we commonly grip, and this bar has seen a ton of use. Now, I'm not a fan of Cerakote on the sleeves. That's one thing that I really wish this had a different material on the sleeves. And that's because what happens is the metal insert on the bumper plates, when it rubs against the ribbed sleeve, it leaves metal. Now, as you look at these pictures that I've got up, you'll see the marks that metal leaves. And this is after I've really cleaned off the sleeve. At first look, you'll think that maybe that's scratching off some of the Cerakote, and that is part of it, but a bigger part of it is a lot of those marks, especially the duller marks, are just the metal kind of rubbing off. So just be aware that if you get a Cerakote barbell, this isn't specific to this bar, but it's just specific to Cerakote sleeves, is that you're not gonna have a nice, pretty, clean black sleeve on your barbell once you start putting weights on it. The sleeve spin on this is really, really good. It's smooth, it's consistent, the roll off is nice and gentle. It's everything that you would need to do, again, a multi-purpose barbell's job. It's got a combination of bushings and bearings in here, which is an interesting thing. You don't see a lot of barbells that have that. And that gives you enough spin to do ballistic movements, but not so much spin that your weights are spinning on a bench press. If you've ever used an Olympic needle bearing bar to bench with, you'll notice that sometimes they're unstable, and this doesn't have that problem. So, as you can tell, I really like this bar, my clients really like this bar, and for the price, there just isn't another better bar out there. I've got a couple of bars up on GymCrafter.com in the budget bar section that are more specific power bars. So if you do want something with a center knurl, check out that section on the GymCrafter website. But if you're looking for one barbell to do everything, and most of the people I talk to when they build home gyms, they aren't weirdos like us home gym YouTubers. They get one barbell, maybe two. And this is a nice option for that one barbell. It really can serve a lot of functions in your gym. So there you have it, my final review of the Living.Fit Cerakote barbell, also available in chrome. And if you have any more questions on this, please drop them in the comments below. If anybody out there has this bar, share your experience. Let me know what you think and see if my experience is the same as yours. And until the next video, thanks for hanging. I'm Tim with GymCrafter.